Welcome back. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm going to be showing you how I make my aloe vera and lavender cold processed soap. This is a soap that I sell online, but I'm going to show you my process in case you want to get started making cold processed soap. I'm going to show you my process step by step, just in case you want to make a similar soap or use similar ingredients. So let's jump right in. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, my name is Esther and I make DIY hair and skincare videos here on YouTube, as well as selling my handmade skincare products online, and I also have online formulating classes as well. Everything I mentioned will be linked in the description box, so let's jump right in. To make cold processed soap, you need two things. You need a liquid like your water, and you need sodium hydroxide, also called lye. So I'm going to weigh out my aloe vera juice. This is going to be my water replacement in this soap bar. All I use is aloe vera juice, and that's what I'm going to use to mix my lye. So now that I've weighed everything out, I'm going to freeze my aloe vera juice. Because sodium hydroxide gets very hot and it can burn like your juices, things like milk. So I'm going to freeze this so that way my sodium hydroxide doesn't burn my aloe vera juice. So I have my aloe vera cubes. They're already frozen, and I'm going to weigh out the amount that I need. So when you make a cold processed soap, there is a certain amount of water that's needed to mix your sodium hydroxide. So I'm going to weigh out the exact amount that I need for my soap. So how do you know this? You have to use Soap Calc. So this is an app online. Once you plug in your soap numbers, like the amount of soap you want to make, you put your oils and butters, things like that, into that calculator. It's going to calculate the amount of water you need and the amount of sodium hydroxide you need for your soap. Next, I'm going to weigh out my sodium hydroxide, also called lye or caustic soda. So this is very corrosive and can burn your skin, so you want to make sure you're wearing long sleeves, gloves, eyewear like your goggles to protect your eye. I'm going to leave in the description box helpful cold processed soap making videos. I'll also have a recipe on there as well, but make sure you educate yourself about lye safety, so that way you don't injure yourself or damage your skin while making cold processed soap. Now it's time to make the lye solution. I have my aloe vera cubes and sodium hydroxide. I'm just going to pour the sodium hydroxide bit by bit into the aloe vera cubes, and the aloe vera is going to slowly dissolve because the sodium hydroxide is very hot. So this takes a few minutes, but you want to do this bit by bit. Pour the sodium hydroxide over the ice cubes and it's going to dissolve, and eventually you get the lye solution. I used my temperature gun to check the temperature, and it was at 88 degrees Fahrenheit, which is perfect for me. I tend to make my soap anywhere from 80 degrees Fahrenheit to about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't like to make my soap when the temperature is super high. Next, I'm going to work on my oils and plant butters. So I use a combination of hard oils like coconut oil and plant butters like cocoa butter and shea butter. But the beauty of cold processed soap, you can use whichever plant butters, hard oils that you want to use to make your soap. So once I have everything weighed out, I'm going to melt this down on low heat. While it's melting down, I'm going to work on my oils. So if you're not sure which oils or butters to use when making cold processed soap, I'm going to leave a link in this description box with the characteristics of oils and butters for soap making. It is very helpful because it tells you the properties and qualities each a specific butter or oil gives to a soap bar. So definitely check out the link, it's very helpful. So now that I have my plant oils ready, everything is melted down, I'm going to work on my clays. So I like to use clays in my soap. I use white kaolin clay, purple Brazilian clay, and French green clay for the color, and the white kaolin clay I always add to my soaps. I like the slip and glide it provides to the soap, and it also has gentle cleansing properties for the skin. It's also gentle on the skin as well. So I usually mix my clays with distilled water, and I factor that into my soap recipe. So I'm going to add my clay, my white kaolin clay, to my oils, and I'm just going to give this a good mix with my stick blender. I'm adding in my lye solution into my oils, and that's what's going to turn this into soap. The sodium hydroxide solution goes through a chemical process called saponification, and that's what's going to turn these oils and fats into soap. You cannot make cold processed soap without sodium hydroxide. There's just no way. Even your melt and pour soap bases are all made with lye. Look at the ingredient labels, all of them are made with sodium hydroxide. So I'm just mixing everything in. It doesn't take very long, but I mix it very well, and then I will blend again until I get to a light trace. So with trace, it just means you're going to see like a ripple effect. That's the best way I can describe this, like a ripple effect trace over the surface of your soap. I want to have a thin mixture because I'm working with clays. I don't want my mixture to thicken too fast, and sometimes that happens with clays as well. I'm adding in my essential oil blend. You can also use fragrance oils if you prefer, and I'm just mixing that into my soap mixture, and then I'll use my stick blender one last time. You don't want to stick blend for so long because then your mixture might thicken rapidly. I'm going to pour into my soap molds, And that's the fun part of soap making. You can design your soap however you like. So I'm just interchanging my soap. I have my cream base mixture. I'm just going to pour that into my molds, and then I interchange with my green clay mixture, my purple clay mixture, and it's just fun when making cold processed soap. I'm spraying the surface with some 99% rubbing alcohol to help with soda ash, but I found that to reduce soda ash in my soaps, it helps to do a water discount. But nonetheless, I'm spraying it with some rubbing alcohol to help reduce that, and I'm going to keep this for the next 48 hours before I unmold my soap bars. So I'll show you what the cut looks like. After 48 hours, I'm going to unmold my soap, and I cut them into the individual bars. With cold processed soap, there is a cure time that it has to go through. So the cure time is that period where the soap, the excess water is evaporating out of the soap, and it results in a harder soap bar that lasts longer. The cure time will vary, but it's anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, and it is a necessary step in cold processed soap making. But so far, this is how my aloe vera and lavender soap is looking like. It does have a lavender essential oil blend, but the beauty about cold processed soap is no two bars ever look the same. It's always going to be slightly different from batch to batch, and you can always find what works for you, your own process. But I recommend checking the description box. I will have helpful soap making resources linked there, as well as my soap recipe. But make sure you educate yourself on life safety, keeping yourself safe when working with sodium hydroxide. But it is a fun and enjoyable process making cold processed soap. I am going to show you the lather after 5 weeks of curing. But I hope you enjoyed this video. You enjoyed my process showing you how I make my aloe vera and lavender soap bars. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also turn on your notifications so you don't miss any videos that I upload. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.